this is another must-win for the Huskers tomorrow against the Gophers. Keep in mind, they need to win 4 of their last 6 games just to be bowl eligible.
And for a while about something like this.
Okay, we've got a developing story. The Creighton Blue Jays women live from New Jersey. It's Friday night. That over my right shoulder is the beautiful Freedom Tower in Lower Manhattan. We are on the other side of the Hudson River in Jersey City, getting ready for the Huskers to take on Rutgers not too far from here in Piscataway, New Jersey. Some of the greatest rivalries in world history. Sparta versus Troy, the colonists versus the British, Arthur Fonzarelli with Pinky Tuscadero against the Malachi brothers, and tonight a rivalry renewed. This is the Huskers' first road game of the season. We're going to tell you why Coach Riley and Jonathan Rose think they can use that to their advantage. Now, Craig, you didn't think I was going to come all the way to Florida and not take a dip in the ocean, did you? Wow. There's no way to sugarcoat the situation in Lincoln, folks. It's a disaster of epic proportions going on there. What happened against Purdue on Saturday wasn't just a loss. It was the humiliation of a once revered football program. Mike Riley said today at his weekly news conference he's not surprised by the scrutiny he's getting with the Huskers' 3-5 record, and he's also not affected by it either. Simply shows Husker Nation cares, and he'd rather have that than apathy. If Charles Dickens was alive today and living near Aksarben Village, he would have written a classic about the Omaha hockey team, A Tale of Two Seasons. Garrett, I think head coach Mike Riley summed up the sentiments of 89,000 fans here at Memorial Stadium and Husker Nation all around the world with one sentence. But this was a wild finish. Even after all of the drop passes, the bad penalties, the leaky pass defense that has haunted this team all season long, the Huskers scored 3 touchdowns plus a 2-point conversion in the fourth quarter to nearly pull this ball game out. Now that we know the Huskers will be going to a bowl game, the debate has begun. Does a 5-7 team deserve to be rewarded for a below-average season? Some say yes, primarily to get those precious extra practices, but others argue, is risking the integrity of a storied program like Nebraska worth the trip to the Everybody Gets a Trophy Bowl? Interesting. Hopefully those extra practices will help Tommy Armstrong. The 3-year starter took a step back against Iowa last Friday. Those 4 interceptions were a huge factor in the loss. Tommy and Mike Riley, they agree. Quarterback needs to take better care of that football.
Some of it is just a player and a better leader for these guys.
Former Huskers quarterback and Oregon offensive coordinator Scott Frost will be named the new head coach at the University of Central Florida on Wednesday morning. This will be Frost's first go-around as a college head coach. He inherits a team that went 0-12 this past season. UNO freshman goalie Adam Wenninger was named the NCHC Rookie of the Month, and this weekend he and the 6th-ranked Mavericks hit the road to the Great White North to take on number 7 St. Cloud State. Last weekend, the Mavericks finally got their power play on track, scoring 3 goals in the 6-4 win over Ohio State. Before that, the Mavs were below 10% efficiency with the extra man. So what in the world was the difference?
Just moving the puck quicker, moving discipline as a team, so it was good.
Got to shoot the puck to score. The Huskers coming off their win over Tennessee in Brooklyn on Saturday. But they'll get their toughest test of the season tonight. Number 21 Miami is in Lincoln. And if you listen to Tim Miles, his Huskers don't have a chance.
Well, their length, athleticism, height, skill with a lot of different guys, so they have a lot of different people that can hurt you.
Sounds like Lou Holtz back in the day. UNO Mavericks back home at Baxter Arena tonight. They'll tip it off against Eastern Michigan at 7 o'clock. We'll have moving pictures from both games tonight on Action 3 News at 10. Don't turn the dial yet. Cold and cloudy today, but will the sun return by the weekend? Only Jim has the answer. Thanks. Greetings from Big Ten Media Days in Chicago. Now we're going to have to wait until tomorrow to hear from Mike Riley and the Huskers that he brought here to Big Ten Media Days. But we have some big news to tell you about coming out of Lincoln. The Big Ten released their 11 players to watch list, and 2 Huskers have made it. Demone Pearson-El and Malik Collins. Wow, that's pretty huge, 2 out of 11. But that's not the biggest news of the day, because former Wisconsin running back recruit Jordan Stevenson has chosen Nebraska, get this, over Alabama and the University of Miami. Now that is a double wow. As for today at Media Days, the featured speakers from Ohio State, the defending champion Buckeyes, their head coach Urban Meyer, and from Iowa, their head coach Kirk Ferentz. Neither one brought their starting quarterbacks here to Chicago to meet the media. Very curious. In the case of the Buckeyes, maybe it's because Meyer hasn't decided who's going to start, Cardell Jones or J.T. Barrett. It's not going to be Braxton Miller. He switched positions last week. Either way, the starter is going to have Heisman Trophy candidate Ezekiel Elliott behind him at running back. That's pretty good. As for Kirk Ferentz, after another mediocre season, he's on the hot seat in Iowa City. He's decided on C.J. Beathard as his starting quarterback, but C.J. is untested, and he won't have Brandon Sheriff protecting his blind side this season. So starting with Urban Meyer, here are both coaches talking about their quarterback situations. That's going to do it from Big Ten Media Days Day 1 here in Chicago. Tomorrow's the big day for Husker fans. We're going to hear from Mike Riley and the players. We'll see you tomorrow night.